Hey everyone, this is Dina Cedillo, and today I wanted to play with some backgrounds that I made and some Blue Night rubber stamps. These backgrounds I had actually made a while back and I was very unhappy with them. So I wanted to throw them away. I was going to throw them away, but I've learned from another very super talented crafter not to throw things away right away. And when you do have something that you don't really like that much, usually there's ways you can work with it and fix it to where you can make a really beautiful scene. So here's a couple of them I was really unhappy with, but I saved them. And then this one here is the one I want to play with today. I thought it would make a real pretty water reflective scene. And I went ahead and masked it off because I do everything on a tilt. So this would have, it takes me like 10 minutes just to get that straight, and that would be like mind-numbingly boring. I thought it would be really cute to have the little ducks with the reeds and ducks stamp from Blue Night, and make a little water scene, a little night water scene. I don't know if ducks are in the water at night, but in my world they are. I'm going to use Memento, Distress, and Marvy inks, and then I've got my little sponge daubers here, the different sizes. And I'm really getting to where I just like paper towels, so I've got some of those just in case. And I'm going to start with Summer Sky. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to get the paper wet again. So it's really hard for me to spread the inks if I don't have a nice wet surface. So mainly that's the reason for this. And I am going to stay away from this part because this is the part that's going to be my reflection of the sky. So let me just get the paper, start getting the paper wet. Right. And then I'm going to step up to my next color, Danube Blue. And the reason I'm doing this from the darker to the corners in, I want it darker so that when I stamp the reeds, or the grass, I'm sorry, I guess it's reeds? Was it reeds? Yeah, it's the reeds. So when I stamp the reeds, it'll just look a little more natural and give it sort of a frame. I am using glossy paper. It's Chrome Coat Glossy, which actually glossy paper is my favorite to work with, and I don't know, that may just be because that's actually what I first started with. I like matte paper too, but Chrome Coat is my favorite. I'm going to put a little bit across the top right over that water, or the reflection that's going to be in the water from the sky, because I want my water line to show up. It is starting to. Okay, now I'm going to go to Chipped Sapphire of the Distress inks. Go just a little darker. And then to my Paris Dusk. And this one I'm just going to leave mostly on the corners. Maybe run it a little bit along the bottom. And then finally, my Marvy Black. This is where I am going to move to a paper towel. Back to a little bit of sapphire blue. I don't like the way it's blended right there, so it's actually a little hard for me to see with the way the light glares off of the paper. Let's see how much my water line is showing. Yeah, that's showing pretty good. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing for the top, for where my trees, I think I'm going to use trees from the top. I'm not sure yet. So now I'm going to start with my blue sky again, just to wet my paper. And as I'm trying to, I am going to try to get a little bit of a horizon, like I'm going to leave that light. And I'm not using my sponge dauber completely flat right there. I'm actually turning it on its side. So that's giving me that control over where I'm placing the ink. Let's see. So that I'm not going all the way to the edge. You know, like here up at the top, I'm using it completely flat. Okay, my next color, Danube Blue. Get this thing off the table that's rattling. There. It can't be a very pleasant noise on the video, I think. Now I'm trying to make this fast. I know that it can get long and boring. A lot of what I do will take hours. So what I'm thinking is you guys can probably just fast forward through this boring stuff. Or as somebody told me, you can do it along with me and it kind of helps to have it take a little time. So it's up to you. See how here's where I'm turning it on its side a little bit. Just learning to use my little tools. And I am actually finding that the paper towels are, I'm starting to get used to those, and I'm getting to where I can do just about anything I want. I can even make like a little point end of it, like a paintbrush with those. Okay, and you'll notice as I'm getting into the darker colors, I'm not going as far into the middle. So that way it'll frame my picture. Okay. Now my Paris dark. Since I'm in a smaller area, I'm going to switch to my little dauber and see if that'll help give me a little more control. And the same thing, even with the little one, I'm tilting it on its side. Okay. I don't know, can you guys see that glare? Okay, so now all I need to do is add the black. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to blend a little bit more right here into the black. Okay, so now you have a nice little water reflection. So I'm also going to use the Marby Black to stamp my reeds and my ducks. But I'm not going to use a Misty, because if I did, I would be constantly positioning my stamps. So I'm just going to use them just freehand. And I don't have to stamp them straight. I can stamp them at angles or whatever I want. You know, there's no rules. I think this one's really cute. I mean, it has that little... See? I like that. That little... Now I will use the Misty or my stamp positioner for my ducks, in case I need to stamp them more than once. I want them closer. Maybe I'll make them a little closer to the bottom. I think that's pretty much all they need. Okay. Now I think I'm gonna go ahead and stamp some trees at the top. So I'm going to use for my trees the Silhouette Cattails stamp, and what I've done is I really like to use these trees all kinds of different ways. So I cut them out. It actually comes as a full stamp, so you could stamp it as a full scene, but I did cut the trees out and made them separate. And that way I can, like I want this one to come in at a little bit of an angle, I think. Whoop. Let's stamp that one more time. Okay. And now my other one. I'm going to have this one come in a little bit farther, just so it gives a little variation. I guess, you know, in nature nothing's ever exactly the same. Okay. All right, now to me, those ducks look like they're floating on the water. And that I don't want. I don't want my ducks to look like they're floating. I want them to look like they're in the water. So something I like to do. I've gotten also to where I like to use paintbrushes. And I can use, let's see. And these are not expensive paintbrushes. They're just like little paintbrushes I got, like, I don't know, I think I got them at Walmart or something. Or maybe Hobby Lobby, I'm not sure. But I want to make it look like my ducks are in the water. So I need to shade underneath them. And I'm going to start, I always start out a little lighter. Oh, look at the little ducky there. He didn't stamp out his head. I'm going to have to make his head. But anyway, I'm going to stamp, like, start on the bottom with some darker ink. So this one I'm using here is Chipped Sapphire. Let's see, I think I'll use the other brush. Just getting some ink on my paintbrush. See, because of the light of the sky, there's going to be a little shadow from the duck. And I'm doing this very fast. Normally I would probably take a little bit more time. Okay. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the Marby Black just underneath, right at the base. Make it just a little darker right there. Okay, does that look like they're anchored in the water? Kind of. Okay. Anyway, you kind of get the idea. Let me see if I can do something. Do something about that duck. No, actually, it's stamped out okay. It's just like that. I thought his head was cut off, but it's not. It's stamped out fine. Okay, so you could actually spend a little more time on that. And then one of the other things that I really like to do with the sky is I use my gel pens, my white gel pens. I'll use one with a thicker point and one with a finer point. And just to kind of show you, I'll just follow kind of what's on the background. So I've got this big white spot here. So I'm going to make like a big star there. See how I've got, can you see? Let's see, I hope you can see it. See where it's a little lighter in these areas? Those are perfect for little stars. Okay, and then then you can do the little reflective stars in the water. And I'm just going to use the little finer point down here just to show you that you can get the different sizes. Just use your little different size gel pens and you can get really nice stars. And then even if you want, you can go here in the center and make your stars. So it's going to depend on what you want and what the look you're after. Sometimes I like to just fill the night sky, and sometimes I like to just put a few stars here and there. You know, and there's no rhyme or reason. It's really what you want. You know, I'll take my finer point, put some stars. Okay, put them in the water because it's very still water and it's reflecting. Okay? So it would take forever for me to do that and finish that. So I'm not going to bore you with that. But hopefully that made sense. And, oh, I did want to mention I am going to try another video to show you how I made these backgrounds. So they're really fun. So, and they're quick. They're really easy, and it's kind of fun because nothing comes out the same. So hopefully I hope you enjoyed my video, and thank you so much for watching.